Before we get started on today's episode, big ups to the members of the Patreon. We are at 75 paid members.
That's crazy.
Super hype. Let's get to 100 by the Super Bowl. We might be selling ourselves short, bro, because I wanted 25,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/veterans minimum. And we got 26,000 now.
Yeah.
Shout out once again to our social media manager.
It's going to be 50.
Let's go, baby.
50 is the new.
Do I got to give you,
goal?
we got to do like an incentive.
And then, I solely would love to work on an incentive contract. Yeah. Especially with the way that the first part of the season is gone. Yeah. Just put me on incentives, coach.
I need to take that statement back because George might crush that one.
Yeah. Hey, your words.
Nah, yeah.
Live on air.
I'm gonna bless you. You know that. I'm gonna take care of you. Shouts to George, though, social media manager.
Shout out to everybody.
Extraordinary. Yeah, shout out to everyone. Following the page. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. Daniel Gibson, Mahul Patel, Abel Rezin, Ben Kotzian, Christopher Velasquez, Derek Platees, Dylan Chadwick. Dylan, your merch is on the way. Remember, if you guys pledge to the Patreon for an entire year, you get 2 months free. Right? So like you get a discount.
Yes.
For 2 months if you do the annual. And depending on the tier you're in, George, you get a certain amount of merch. He pledged for the whole year in the franchise tag, which is the $20 tier.
Love to see it.
And he got 3 merch items on the way.
Oh.
So
make sure you take a photo of yourself.
Yeah.
Tag us on IG.
By the way, ISO, please, if possible. We've been selling some merch, and I'm super grateful that you guys are buying the merch. You got to tag us, bro. How else are we going to sell this merch? You know what I'm saying, George? Yeah. We got to make sure we tag. You got to tag the show, tag us. We'll repost it. Like I said, our social media manager is fucking on it. Merchandise.veterans minimum. We got hoodies. We got bomber jackets. By the way, the bomber jacket, I'm not just saying it because it's the most expensive item in the shop. Phenomenal. Is it not, though? Did I not gift you one?
It is. I wore it to the Raider game last year. I didn't wear it to this last one.
Yeah.
It was a little too hot out. But
I think you wore it when I saw you and I saw my quarterback blow out his ACL.
Yeah.
Shout out Daniel Jones.
I have worn it since, and my knee started to hurt. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Bad karma.
It is. It rubbed off. But the bomber jacket is sweet, dude. Quality is amazing. And I'm not just fucking saying that. You can really go out on the town, rock that jacket, white shirt underneath.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous. Jerry Shapiro, Jordan Riley, Mike Stevens, Nick Crummich, and Thomas Robinson. And we have a new member of the Patreon.
Who is that?
We got David Montenegro.
Hey, David.
Shout out to David. Big ups to David. Thank you for your pledge to the Patreon. All right. Week 7 preview. Davante on the move. Amari on the move. And let's revisit some the fuckboy era.
Yeah, dude. Let's do that.
Let's play the theme music.
Yeah. Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah. Now this the black sheep sticking it to him. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it
in hand, just understand
My pocket's that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do, and they can't compete. And I got nothing.
Yeah, we fucked that one up. Yes, baby, we're back.
That one was back.
We're back.
Yes.
Week 7 preview. Veterans Minimum. I'm your host, Nick Dais, at Nick Dais 10. Founder, CEO, head honcho, director, editor,
King,
producer,
Prince,
the Prince, all that. Stud, handsome, #1 sports betting vibe on the internet. Were you going to counter me saying handsome?
No, I wasn't going to counter. I was adding.
Don't do that. I'm having a nice day.
Yeah. I already said something to you before the show that made you feel some type of way about a person that, wears that same exact shirt and is prominent here in Las Vegas. It's the black V-neck for all you audio listeners out there.
Black V-neck. I like it. It's
fits him well.
It's nice. I just booked my second tattoo appointment. Getting another tattoo.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody just bought some VC.
Yeah.
Good on you, dude.
New kicks, new tight t-shirt. Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting a tattoo here on my other forearm.
What are you gonna get?
I still gotta go and finish this.
Got it.
I'm getting. I feel like you might make fun of me if I tell you this.
No. This is a safe place. I don't have any tattoos. I'm a pussy. So
Okay.
yeah.
So my favorite song of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna shock a lot of people because you would expect it to be some hardcore rap shit. It's not. It's Foreplay Long Time by Boston.
Okay.
And at the end of the song, he says, I've got to keep on chasing that dream. Though I may never find it, I'm always just behind it. And I fucking love that lyric. I'm getting it on my forearm over here. So I'll have Spider-Man in Queens and the coffee truck on this side. I'll have my favorite lyric. And I said after Spider-Man, I was going to stop. But I don't know. They say once you start,
dude,
you can't stop.
It's in the skin, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what they said in Wild Hogs when he got the little apple tattooed on him. But good on you. You're getting memorable tats, stuff that means shit. You're not one of those Friday the 13th. Let me get a skull and crossbones on my forearm. Like,
oh no.
And I am talking to all those people that do that. Stop doing that. Like, it's. I don't know. I feel at a certain point in time, you've lost respect for your skin. It's the biggest organ in your body. Google it.
Bro, you know what I've been telling people lately? Anytime I post, so like, I'll post a lot of shit about like white people. It'll be, they go up into the mountains and they release their demons and they yell. And I'm like, it's white people shit. It's always white people. Hikes, Instagrams for their pets. It's like a top of the food chain white person quality, right? And I'll say some shit like, if you post in your captions today it's you versus you, I'm not saying I'm judging you, but other people are.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel about like when I see people with shitty ass tattoos. I'm like, come on, man. Kind of,
Yeah.
It's gonna be there forever.
They try to save it.
Yeah.
They try to, and Cameron's one of them. Cameron, my fiance, is one of them. She's got a peace sign on her forearm. Man, I mean, she's all about peace, love, and happiness. But then, like, when you don't build off of it and it's just a peace sign lost in eternity, I'm like, come on, babe, we got to figure something out here.
We got to make it a sleeve.
We got to make this a sick Spider-Man tattoo and then go Boston on the other forearm, babe. What are you doing?
We got to get crazy, man. We got to get crazy.
Yeah. Let's talk about getting crazy, Nick.
What's up?
Let's talk about us doing fuckboy shit back in the day. You told me something last week that shocked me, and we couldn't talk about it on the episode because it would take too long.
You never would have guessed that, right?
We got time today. So let's discuss a little bit further into like what you almost got yourself into.
I don't know. Should I tell? Yeah, I'm gonna tell it. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care.
He doesn't.
It was 15 years ago. So in high school, I've only had 2 real girlfriends in my life. And when I say that, I have my friends back home. They'll be like, "Yo, bro, you dated." Not gonna say the name to protect everyone. Like, yo, you guys dated. You guys were just both idiots, and you guys just never put a label on it. But you guys went to business ventures together. She came to Christmas parties. You guys just didn't put a title, like
right,
dumb shit like that. So I tell people like, yo, I've only had 2 girlfriends in my life that like met mom, met dad, right? Hoes meet the team, wifey meets the fam. It's usually how it goes. And they met the family, right? And one of them, we broke up during the football season and she started dating my left tackle. And he was one of our better defensive players. And then he quit the team before the playoff games. And I was like, yo, bro, did you quit because you're dating so-and-so? He's like, nah, man, whatever. I was like, dude, I really don't care. I'm trying to win. This is the first time our school ever went to the playoffs. And he didn't play. We lost the playoff game. I did throw a pick 6. I fucked that up too.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't there to...
Yeah, the blind side, bro. Left tackle. Come on, man. What's going on? And then years later, he was like, yo, bro, I quit the team because she told me to. And I was like, yeah, I have eyes and ears and I'm not stupid. I knew that was the case.
That's some vindictive shit right there, bro.
So that was my first girlfriend. She was a Greek girl. white girl also. One of the reasons why I don't like white or Greek girls. So shout out to, not going to say the name, but if you know, you know. My other girlfriend, I almost got married in high school.
This is the one that I was like, what? Nick. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, I haven't told this story before. I don't think I've ever told this story on social media. But she's doing good now. She's with someone. They're married. They're happily ever after. And I'm 33, handsome, single in Vegas. So our lives have taken completely different paths.
Yeah. Completely different.
But yeah, so the girl I dated my senior year, we, high school sweethearts kind of, and then we talked as like I went into college, tried to do the long distance thing, didn't work. At the time, like, damn, I'm gonna age myself, bro, but this is like 2008 to 2010. Obviously, social media has changed so much, and I know a lot of people that are in long distance relationships, but I kind of have PTSD. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could do that shit.
No,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Now you have FaceTime, now you have Zooms, you have all these other outlets. It's a lot different. But yeah, man, we dated in high school, and then when I went to college, we were doing the long distance thing. And at the time, I was gonna get married so she could get her papers. And if you ever see my mom, you want to get her mad, ask her about my ex-girlfriend. Just say her name. Be like, yo, Nick told me about so-and-so. My mom's going to slap you.
I'll be ready to dodge.
Yeah, just be ready.
Yeah.
She got a mean right hand, bro. I've never been hit, bro. I got hit one time and I was 23 years old. She slapped me after I grabbed her hand because I went away to Connecticut. And my buddy Espo, shouts to Espo, his wedding is next weekend. That's why I'm going to New York. But I went to Connecticut for the weekend. I left on like a Friday morning, and my mom to this day, bro, like I said, I'm 33. Text me when you get there. I'm going to LA this weekend. Yo, text me when you land. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those morons that you see in the memes, like 33 years old, but texting your mom.
Hey, mom, made it in safe.
Hey, mommy, I made it. I'm saying, shouts to mom.
Yeah.
But she's like that, right? So I didn't text her that I got to Connecticut, and then I come back like Monday morning, and she's in tears. She's like, what the fuck? Why'd you do that? I was like feeling myself, I was like, Ma, like, come on, bro. I'm 23 now. Like, she went to hit me. I grabbed her hand. I was like, this is not going to work. Bro, 3 days later, I come out the bathroom. She hit me so hard, like off the side of the temple. And I fell backwards onto my toilet, balls out, towel out. I'm like this. I'm like, oh. She's like, yo, I don't care how old you get. I didn't do any jujitsu at the time. She's like, anything you know, she's like, I'll fucking kill you. And then she walked out. It's the only time I got hit.
Straight gangster, bro.
Yeah. So I say that because,
oh my God,
if you mention either of my ex-girlfriends to my mom, she's going to swing on you.
She will probably kill me.
So
this is nuts, though. You were about to make her. Wait, hold on. Is your mom from America?
Yeah, my mom is American, but she's Greek also.
Gotcha.
My dad is like off the boat Greek.
Got it. All right.
And yeah, man. So I was gonna get married.
To, get her legalized, get her a little.
Yeah, and like, bro, it was
their day card.
It got bad, dude. I stopped talking to friends. I stopped talking to my parents also for a little bit. I was fucking hypnotized, bro. I was under a spell. Some voodoo fucking Santeria shit because she was Hispanic too.
Puerto Rican, Cuban.
I'm gonna refrain from mentioning it.
Oh yeah, it was definitely Cuban, involved. Bro. You said Santeria, like yeah.
Well, you're Cuban, so
yeah, bro.
We gave it away.
I already know.
Bro. It got crazy, man. And I don't know if I have PTSD from that, but I haven't been in a relationship since. I haven't dated anyone in like social media era. I know we were talking about it last week. How I don't know how much trouble I would get if I double tap a photo.
Oh, it happens, bro. I told you this. These are the things that when you're in a relationship, as long as I've been, see where you were about to get somebody their green card. Like I actually got with Cameron, even though American citizen and white girl. So everything that Nick hates, I'm fucking let's go. Right. Like, cool. Let's rock with this. Yeah. So no, the longer you get in a relationship, of course, Nick, they're going to see whose shit you're liking, who's the stories that pop up first on Instagram, the uncontrollable shit, right? Like you remember when Snapchat used to do like the little emojis
and it was like you Snapchatted them 5 days in a row.
Bro, if that's how women started becoming like personal investigators for each other's relationships. Like they would start diving in. Did you know he's got a ghost next to Sydney's name? And you're like, shit. And it never changes.
Yeah.
This is shit that even like 40-year-olds worry about.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I don't know. I don't have no experience in that.
You want to know, you just have to like get through it. And then eventually like it just, you never really care because you realize how much you care about each other. Damn, you have to do a lot now though, Nick.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change up a lot of things too.
Yeah, you're
also being in the content space.
Throw the fish line out there and just wait and see what bites.
I'm a shooter too, bro.
I know you're a shooter. No, you're 100% a shooter because I said you get the line out there.
Yeah. No, I make
you're not like a.
I make it very. Listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. Do you remember Facebook pokes?
Yeah.
Like Facebook poke is like the Instagram story. Like now you're out the game, so let me put you onto the game. Girl likes your Instagram story. It's kind of like,
whoa.
Yeah, it's like a Facebook poke, right? The Facebook poke, the theory used to be brilliant. Facebook poke her, she pokes you back, you poke again, you get 2, then you slide into the DM. Worked every time. Foolproof. Like
right.
Batted like 900. You're talking about fucking Pete Rose, RIP to D-Gen, one of us. Oh. He couldn't even hit a higher success rate than that. And that's what the poke was. So the Instagram likes. So like, listen, man, I'm going to clip this. If you like my stories, if you leave comments, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to ask twice. I'm going to ask twice, guy.
And ask nice.
Yeah. And I'm a gentleman. I pay for the bill. Always pay for the bill. Dude, the girl that I was telling you about that I kind of dated but didn't make it official, she was an attorney. She was making millions of dollars. I was making $500 a week. And even then, my dad would be like, bro, you're paying for everything. Like, you're a fucking man. I'll give you some extra money if you need. None of this 50-50 shit you're going to pay. If you like the girl and you're going out, this is what you're going to do. And bro, I went to a dinner one time. I paid $900. That was 2 weeks of work. Fucking 2:30 in the morning, 5 days a week, flipping eggs. And it just got to a point, bro, where like, I've always been pretty self-aware. And now I just kind of look at like girls' lifestyles and I'm like, yeah, I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
And like, it's cool. Like I admire, you see that a lot in Vegas, a lot of beautiful people in Vegas. I'm like, I can't, you're in 9 different cities a month. I can't do that. I like eating pizza for lunch. You need Prime 112, a little different. I'm at a point now in my life though, George, where like I could do any steakhouse in the city and like pretty much buy anything I would like once a month.
Yeah,
not every week, but it's also not my thing, bro. So like, I only spend money on sneakers. I'm trying to invest in some properties and do that whole shit. I don't want to do this forever. My goal is at 40 years old to completely disappear off the face of the internet. That's what I'm striving for. I want to retire at 40. I'll be 34 in March. The goal is to be able to get there, right? And I had just told that girl, I was like, yo, bro, I can't. I feel mad. I was mad insecure, right? Mind you, I'm 26 at the time. I'm fat, getting braces the month later. It's a different time. But again, I don't like wasting people's time. So with the whole Instagram story thing, like I'll ask twice, I'll ask nice. Then after that, bro, I feel like I'm the prize.
That is true.
I feel like I'm the prize. And then from there, like, yo, it's cool, man. I liked you last week. This week, not so much. I'm on to the next one.
That is true.
Prolific, Bruce. Step back.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'll shoot.
Oh, no, firing shots, bro.
I've had girls screenshot, call me thirsty. Like, sorry, I find you attractive and I want to take you out to dinner. And you've made it very obvious that you do too. You're fucking in my DMs also. But whatever, man. It's cool. I put the hex on them. I'm like, yo, I hope you end up 40 and alone. And when I put that voodoo on you, it gets bad.
Bro, how else is Nick supposed to win a scoring title without putting up 40?
You gotta, man.
You know?
You gotta. Shooters shoot. Always.
You gotta find the
slide in, be nice, be a man, pay for the bill.
None of that 50-50 shit.
Yeah.
None of it.
Come on. Class.
50-50.
Class.
Split the bill my ass, bro.
Yeah. So basically, I know we went on a long tangent there. I almost got married when I was 19 years old.
That's still what the craziest thing I've ever heard about you is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done some whole shit, bro. Ever since then, like I've done some, one thing I would do, and I might have still done that recently in the last couple months. Like after the first week of talking to some girl, when I see it's not really going anywhere, and we haven't hooked up or anything, because I don't like doing that either. I don't want to be known as that guy. I'll tell them I love them, just so they can
digest it.
He's fucking crazy. Get fried in the group chat, and they'll be like, "Hey, I don't think we should continue this." I'm like, "Damn, if that's how you feel, then good luck." And then that's it. But I'll do it so that they can break it off of me.
That's smart. That's a good way to get them to release.
Yeah, man. I like having a nice reputation. I try to keep it classy. But again, the fuckboy era was from like 2011 to about September of this past year.
And then what happened?
Now we're just trying to do other things.
Oh, there's going to be a Nick Jr., dude.
No, don't put that on me, bro.
Nick Jr.
You know how I make fun of
Colombian Nick Jr.
You know how I make fun
I'll make
of
another trip.
We haven't heard nothing back yet. It's been 3 months since we came back. So far, so good. Yo soy fiesta. I'll see you guys in November. I'm going back for Thanksgiving.
Niño.
That's right. Hijo.
Yeah.
Oh man, let us know, yo. Let us know in the comments. You guys have any fuckboy stories? We've all had them. Ladies, listen, this is what we have to go through, right? I feel like every guy has to go through this era. It happens. We don't agree, but we understand.
Yeah. That's so funny you're wearing the shirt, bro. It's evolutionary psychology, bro. That's evolutionary psychology.
Dude, let's get into some football because people don't want to hear anymore. Maybe they want to. I think people might want to hear these. I'm excited to see these comments.
I've realized
and I wonder if I'm going to get any phone calls or text messages from 718 numbers like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Hey man, if it upsets you, just don't think about it. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, it's going to fill the time for people. People listen to this on the drive to work. And if you're in New York, you're in traffic all the time. So the longer we take and the more we tell them, the more happy they are. That's the way I feel. But let's talk about football.
And dude, what a segue. You just gave us a layup. Speaking of New York.
New York City, please go easy on the Jets tonight.
Davante Adams, was this not the most no shit trade in recent memory? Like, hasn't this been unofficial since Derek Carr got benched by the Raiders and then Rodgers went to the Jets? Everyone kind of knew he's going to end up there one way or another. Last year, when the Jets played the Raiders, Davante goes up to him and like they didn't, but it felt like they were about to make out with each other. Like, bro, I miss you so much. Dude, I miss you too. I love you, bro.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you. They went to Barry's Steakhouse. Shouts to Yasim and Barry's over at Circa. And he's like, dude, we just drank all this wine and we were just talking about life for 5 hours. It's like, bro, just get married with each other. You guys love each other. We get it. My favorite duo that I've seen, honestly, like quarterback wide receiver duo, them in Green Bay.
Our lifetime, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's my number one favorite. Like the back shoulder, the on third and eights, he would go to him, even though the whole stadium and the whole world knew. Like that's when you know that you have a certified stud. So it was like no shit. Adams went to the Jets, right? All of a sudden, the hamstring's fine. You saw the practice videos. He's good.
All of a sudden, cleared to go.
Yeah.
Raiders fans, sorry. Like, yeah, I know you guys were fucking booing me last week, but yeah, no, I'm ready to rock.
You ever seen were you a wrestling fan at all growing up?
Yeah.
So you've probably seen the meme of Kevin Nash when he was on WCW. He's in the wheelchair, and then he all of a sudden takes the blanket off and he stands up. And they're like, oh my God, he's standing. Yeah. It's like all the memes are that of Davante. Like Davante gets traded to the Jets. All of a sudden, the hamstring's fine.
Yeah.
We're back. It was cool though. I like it. I like it for the Jets. I like it for Davante. I like it for Rodgers. What are your thoughts? What did you think? Did you have the same sentiment I did when this trade became official?
When this trade became official, I lost it on you because this is all falling right into Aaron Rodgers' plan of I want to control the Jets, getting the coach fired, now being able to hire his best friend. Nick, this is going to end in disaster.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Just
we have a different stance. Okay, cool,
because the numbers favor disaster more than they do success. Now, before I give the rest of my answer, a success for the New York Jets this season would be what? Super Bowl? They have to win the Super Bowl, right? Not or anything related to the Super Bowl. If they make it to the Super Bowl, it's a success.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Especially what the expectation was coming into the year. And now with this, yes, I agree.
Okay. So in order for them to do that, there's like a 5% chance that happens. They are so fucking bad that Aaron Rodgers has brainwashed them into thinking that Davante Adams is the reason why we haven't been successful. And it's just not the case. Their offense has yet to put up the amount of points that we thought they would. They stall out on drives often. And when you're kind of just implanting another premier stud and to an already like star heavy offense, I'm not seeing how this is the difference maker and making them be uber successful. It'll be cool to watch it happen, but I think it'll be even cooler to watch it burn this week. And I think that's what we'll talk about when we get into our picks, because we have a glaring difference in that game that I'm excited to touch on later on. But I don't like this Davante Adams, partially because I didn't get to see him this past week in a Raiders uniform. And I think he would have, made the game a little bit more interesting. He would have gave me like somebody on the Raiders to care about other than Brock Bowers. But we were fed up with it. Quickest trade ever. He literally said in the press conference today, he was like, I pretty much just told the Raiders that I wanted to go to the Jets and they made it happen, which is exactly the way it should happen when players don't give a shit anymore. Because what was the point of keeping him on the Raiders? So I don't know what the Raiders were able to get. They were able to get like a second or third round pick.
A third round pick, and then it becomes an additional second if they make the AFC title game or the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And he plays in it, which also, no, that's a really big caveat too, because say he was to get hurt and they make the AFC title game, they don't get that pick.
Right.
So he needs to participate in those games.
Yeah, so that's big, and I'm missing out on something here for the Jets. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. If this doesn't pan out, this is what's going to make people look at Matt Stafford and say Matt Stafford was a better quarterback. This is Aaron Rodgers going all in. Whether he likes it or not, in the social perception, you've gotten everything you've wanted, bro. If this shit doesn't work out now, your career is going to be tainted. And that's unfortunate because it was a hell of a ride. But people are going to look at Matt Stafford and be like, he was better.
Yo, I can't believe you said Matt Stafford, because I think Adams going there reminds me of the Rams last year. Puka young, Garrett Wilson young, grizzled vet gunslinger at quarterback, and you got the OG and Cup and Adams.
Yep.
And you saw what the Rams were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Stafford, you're throwing the ball 45 times. 31 targets are going to them too.
Yep.
Now, Alan Lazard, you're going to get 3 targets a game. Mike Williams, if you're there, after he got thrown under the bus for the mistakes that he's made the last couple of weeks. If you're there, you're going to get your 3 targets. Xavier Gibson will run a flea flicker or some dumb shit to you. And then Breece Hall out the backfield, who got going on Monday Night Football about time also. I think this is amazing for Garrett Wilson. I think this is because he already has the built-in relationship with Rodgers. Like, you saw, 20 targets in London?
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Football, he scored a touchdown. There's already something there. And now you bring in Adams, it's only going to help him, because it's what we say about the Bengals. Anytime Jamar chases out, people immediately bet the overs on T. Higgins. And I think on his receiving yardage, in the 9 games, in the 7 games that Chase has missed with T. Higgins, he's gone under those yardages. Why? Because now everyone's keying on him. He's the only legit threat on the field for the Bengals. He does better fantasy-wise and just statistically, which would kind of correlate to fantasy, when Chase is on the field. So now you got Adams, who, bro, they'll be able to pick up right where they left off. Like, I'm betting him to score on Sunday 100%.
Yeah.
Even if he plays 20 snaps, he's going to get red zone targets. They were amazing, bro. There's a whole compilation on YouTube, not that kind of compilation, you freaks, of Davante Adams in the red zone and some of the stick and goes. He does slant and goes.
I was gonna say, bro, I think
routes.
Davante Adams is the best route runner in snow that I've ever seen, because he does that shit on ice. That was some of the craziest parts of that compilation that I saw were when there was white stuff everywhere on the field. But you were gonna say though.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think it does everything. It's gonna help Breece Hall. It's gonna help the tight ends. This is gonna help the offense a lot. Now the defense needs to tighten up a little bit. The defense, I think, is concerning. Maybe they get Hassan Reddick to finally sign. I know Will McDonald is like top 5 in the league in sacks, so he's been balling. But Sauce, we're gonna need you to kind of step up a little bit, man. Sauce isn't having the season that he's had in the last couple of years. The secondary, which was supposed to be a strength of this team, has not been that. But I want to say with the offense, I think this is great, man. Adams, I'm not the biggest fan of wide receivers moving mid-season because there's a lot you got to figure out. Also, your timing with your quarterback, but there is timing there. They've had success. Like I said, the last decade when they were together in Green Bay, it was the most prolific duo in the league. It was like them and then Tyreek Hill and Mahomes. It was like that good and that efficient. So they're going to pick up right where they left off. And then, I think this is a telling thing, man. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. And even though you had a relationship with this dude in college and that's your boy, circumstances get in the way and maybe you shouldn't have left Rodgers in the first place. But I get it. Like, he made $140 million with the Raiders. Like, I would go also.
Yeah.
Right? You gave it a chance. You gave it 8 years.
Think about it. They had made the runs. Like,
right.
Yeah, when you look at the grand scheme of their careers, when they were in Green Bay and Adams left to the Raiders, it was a mutual parting, and it was beneficial for Adams. It hasn't just like come out and said like, I will only play with my best friends that I know the rest of my career. He should have said that, but he didn't. And now we have to make all these back end storylines as to why he's doing what. And now they're not going to be able to spread the ball out enough to make him happy. And they were really hinting at that in the press conference that they had with him. They were grilling him on, you do know there are a lot of weapons here. And if you're leaving the Raiders because you weren't being utilized, aka the Raiders were a run heavy franchise before you even fucking got there. And then when you got there, they had to force feed you the ball to keep you somewhat happy. He hinted at, the reason I left the Raiders is because the only times they would throw it to me is when they were running a 1 high look. And even when I'm with Rodgers and they're 2 high, even though I'm being double teamed, I could still make plays. That's great, Nick. That's phenomenal when you are the only option. And he's not. And so it's going to go one of 2 ways. Okay. And there's no in between on this. The Jets will either be really bad for the remainder of the season and they will go maybe 2 games under 500, or they boom. And I sound like an idiot, but I really don't think that you can make this transplant mid-season and have it succeed. We see this all the time in basketball.
Yeah.
With stars leaving mid-season and we're like, is there going to be enough time to gel and blend? Even with their with their prior chemistry, though?
That's where I would push back. There is prior chemistry there. It's not what we'll get to in a little bit, Josh Allen getting Amari Cooper, or maybe the first couple weeks, it might be shaky. You don't know your timing. You haven't had a camp together. It's different if they started the season together and they had a whole training camp and they worked in the off season and you knew. I like this because there's a prior relationship between the two of them. And I also think, to what you're saying as far as the targets and the opportunities now, if the team is winning, bro, winning covers everything. If you're getting 2 catches for 30 yards and you're losing by 3 touchdowns like he was with the Raiders, you're going to be pissed.
Oh, he's not going to be upset anymore. But I'm just saying that's the bullshit excuse that he gives for leaving the Raiders. Right. It's like, no, I wanted to go play with my best friend. You guys fucked me over as an organization. I'm out.
Which they kind of did also because they sold him on, Derek Carr is our franchise quarterback. And
a year after he was out.
Yeah. Not even a year, bro. They benched him.
You're right. At the end of the year.
Yeah. So
That's
they couldn't even finish. And he's like, yo, bro, you sold me on these, sunshine and rainbows and shit coming over to Vegas because I'm going to play with my boy. This is why I came here. And then you bench him? Yeah, I'm out. That's why I said, like, it got soured after that. And that's why he's like, yo, bro, I miss you. And they're having these dinners and shit. And they always talk about each other. I wanna run something by you. I know I'm 0 for 1 so far on the Jets running the table and the schedule. The schedule in the beginning was hard. Right? They played 3 games in 11 days. They had a London trip. They had prime time. Can I just read you the rest of their schedule?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night, they play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Then they're at New England. Home on Thursday to the Texans. Then they play at Arizona, home Colts, home Seahawks, at Miami, at Jacksonville, home Rams, at Buffalo, home Dolphins. They're 2-4. I see 2 losses.
And those 2 losses should be
I would say
the Texans.
I would say if they get through this week with Pittsburgh, I think that's just a wacky game. We'll get to, when we get to the pick segment, we'll discuss that. I think that's one of them. And then I'm not even saying Texans, Jets. I would say one of these weird, like in Miami. Like Miami just always has a thing for playing these teams tough in Miami. Or even like if Stafford shows up with Kupp and Puka, who apparently Kupp might be ready after this week coming back. Those are the kind of games. But bro, I see 2 more losses. That puts them at 11-6.
I just see so many 1-score games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now,
and that's the other thing too.
But that's where I can't. When you have that many weapons and you're making such a big fucking deal over this duo coming back together, it's like you guys better be winning by more than 1 possession. Make us believe, because to this point, you being this little fucking in-between team, it's not going to win people over.
Yeah.
Even if you are winning games, I will say that. It's like the Jets fans are looking for more. As they should. You guys are loaded. And I think they would agree with me too. We should be blowing these teams out. So we'll see. I do not think it happens this weekend.
So can I give you something that I think might be worth throwing a nice $20 or $50 on?
Yeah.
Jeff Ulbrich to win Coach of the Year. 75-1. We've seen an interim coach do it. Bruce Arians. Remember when Chuck Pagano had cancer and he left the team?
Correct.
And then Bruce Arians came in and he kind of
Rich Bisaccia with the Raiders.
Did he win Coach of the Year?
It was early enough in the season for him to be. He might have came in second. I like it. We're at the quarter point though. Like we're like past the first quarter mark.
Yeah.
I think it's too late.
But I'm saying, so like right now he's 0-1. If they go like 9-2 to end the year, I just think 75-1. I've made way stupider decisions.
Yeah, and I'll just say this. I'll say this for narrative.
Okay, yeah.
They're going to say Rodgers is the coach. It's the same thing that I've been laying out. That's the narrative that will get spinned that will have him not win that award.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. So just based on narrative alone, that's why that one might not pan out. But I fuck with it.
So can I give you another one?
Yeah.
What about him for MVP? 50-1.
A-Rod?
Is there anyone right now that you could confidently say is shoe-in MVP, no question? Like, for example, Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm ready to burn my ticket. I think as long as Jaden Daniels don't get hurt, it's probably him.
It's him. Yep.
Yeah. Even though Caleb Williams hasn't been playing better as of late, like the whole body of work so far, because they might win their division, the Commanders. I don't know.
It's going to be, as of right now, it's Lamar is the front runner. Do I think like that's going to last? No. I think Josh Allen's in the best spot that he's ever really been in.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually at this point in time of the season, Josh Allen is like starting to fight back from like a really horrific start.
Yeah. He'll rattle off like 7 straight holy shit games in a good way. Yeah.
So he actually started off the season good this time. He had a little downward slide, but hey, we don't want to peak too early. That's another thing you got to look for in these awards.
And look, man, last thing I'll say on this, the Jets are plus 160 to make the playoffs. I think that is very interesting. To win their division, the Jets to win the division,
still tight.
plus 500, right? And they have a 2-game deficit to Buffalo, and they do play them one more time. And the Bills' schedule is a lot harder than what the Jets have. It was something that we highlighted in the preview show. And if it wasn't for me already being financially invested in the Jets from the beginning of the year, I got some pretty big futures on them from anywhere from 18 to 1 to 25 to 1. You get them at 40 to 1, like we said on the Monday show. It was like them and the Bengals. I like doing this, man. Last year we had Buffalo. It wasn't around this time. It was around Thanksgiving. It was later, like right before Thanksgiving, and they won outright after. I like doing that because then you could have 2 dogs in the race. You know, like last year I had the Bengals from the beginning of the season. That crashed and burned, but even they got hot at one point. They went 4-1 in that tough stretch that they had. So, look, man, I think we spent a lot of time on this one. I like Adams going there, and you don't.
See. No,
we'll see. Yeah, no, I like that we disagreed.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Yeah,
I fuck with that. Let's stay in division. Let's stay in state. Amari Cooper. We talked about Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. He goes to Buffalo.
That's a premier play for him. You know, Josh Allen definitely needed a guy. We've been feeling like, oh, wait, he plays for the Browns?
Bro, yes. I was thinking that. How many times have we been on the show and I'll randomly just be like, bro, I keep forgetting Amari Cooper plays for the Browns.
Yeah.
And then I'll have people in the comments be like, oh, you fucking casual. Like, no. I'm saying it that this dude is a stud. He's a hell of a receiver, top 10 potentially, and he's just getting lost there. That's what I mean, that I forget that he plays there. Mm-hmm. I'm not slandering him. It's like, holy shit, you have a real weapon there. You ain't doing nothing with him.
I love it. And in Buffalo, it'll be interesting. It's always fun to see when players, I know he played for the Browns, so he had to experience some cold weather, but I feel like Buffalo cold is way different than Cleveland cold.
Dude, Buffalo cold sucks.
So there is a difference. So like whenever I'm using this as a reference in the future.
Yeah.
And for anybody watching out there in Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
It does not get as cold in Cleveland as it does.
No. And I've never been to Cleveland, so I might be talking out of my ass, but I lived in Buffalo for 2 years. I went to school up there. We would go into football meetings at like 4:30 in the afternoon in August, and it'd be 92 degrees. When we get out at 9 p.m. and it's dark out, it's 58.
That's insane.
Like the drops are crazy. It's one of the most depressing cities in the country too, because I think it's dark like 26 of 30 days. It's just always cloudy. It's always raining. Shout out to the 716. You know the boy always got love for Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo State.
Hey, yo.
Shout out to the Bengals. But bro, it gets cold, dude. The lake effects up in Buffalo, it sucks.
So we'll see how Amari Cooper deals with that. I mean, you got Alabama boy, goes to the Raiders, dealt with Cleveland, and now
was in the dome in Dallas.
Yeah. And it's like, now, bro, how tough are you, Amari Cooper? How are you Josh Allen tough? Is Josh Allen going to make you Josh Allen tough? I think he will. And I think this offense, tell me every time you've seen the Bills this year, you're like, where's the deep dig? You know, like, where's the 15-yard like shot play to be a zone breaker, right? They just really don't have it. It's either a short little dump off route or Keon Coleman deep up the sideline.
Yeah, and you know, it's a gift and a curse when you don't have a number one wide receiver, because you could spread the ball out. Like I remember the game against the Jaguars. Oh, Josh Allen threw 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. 9 different people caught a pass, the most ever in his career. Yeah, that's cool until it's 3rd and 7 and you really need a first down, that's where the alpha steps up.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you really need the alpha. Look, man, for as bad as it was for him in Cleveland, he had over 1,200 yards last year. He was a Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the best receivers in the league.
Well, bro, he had Flacco at the end of the year, bro.
Joe Flacco came in.
Joe resurrected Amari Cooper and David and Njoku's career.
Yeah,
literally.
100%, bro, 100%. So I think it's gonna help a lot, man. They are the 25th ranked passing game. They just have a lot of young wide receivers that I like. Shakir, young slot guy. Keon Coleman on the outside, the X and the Y positions. He's dope, but he's still young, and he hasn't shown yet to be that guy that could go out there and be an impactful rookie right away. He has flashes, and then you have the two tight ends with Kincaid and Knox. I think it only cost them a 3rd round pick next year for a guy that could come in and he could be that alpha. And I think also, like, I talk about this shit all the time, bro. I'm not the biggest baseball fan. I follow the Mets, and I can tell you about the Mets, but
they're getting smacked right now.
I know, yeah. I have the score up here too. Not too happy about that one. You're a dick also for mentioning that.
Yeah, well, I had to. I'm on ESPN too, bro.
I say that because I used to do the show with some other guys, and they were big baseball fans, and we used to do like different segments. And I remember Justin Verlander went to the Tigers. Sorry. He left the Tigers to go to the Astros.
Mm-hmm.
And we did like winners and losers of the baseball deadline. I was like, yo, bro, how is it not him? They're like, dude, he's washed. I was like, is he? Or did he just play on a team that was going to win 70 games and now he's going to a team that's the World Series favorite? Like, that's a real thing, bro. We've talked to so many athletes where it's like, yo, bro, when you played on a team and you knew you guys were going to lose, like, I did a show with Will Blackman. He played on the Jaguars that I believe won 1 game in like week 15. He's like, bro, I just didn't want to get hurt. I want to play as good as I can and not get hurt. And then he goes to the Giants and he wins a Super Bowl. Well, he won a Super Bowl with the Giants. It's like, bro, the motivation is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on a shit team that's 1-5 in Cleveland, and now I go to Buffalo, who's 4-2, they got an MVP candidate, they got a real quarterback, culture is different, the fans are fucking amazing. Bills Mafia. Yeah, it's the morale. He's inspired now. So that matters too, bro. We talk about circumstance and situation all the time for players. This is going to help him 100%.
It's funny because this was Bill Belichick's favorite thing to do every year that he was a coach and when they had Tom Brady. But it's happening now with the Bills. And I'm glad that they're the franchise that's stepping up into the roles of finding the players that would be in an ASPCA commercial where it's like, these poor receivers, they have rookie quarterbacks that can't get them the ball for just $10 a day. You can help change their life. That's what Bill Belichick would look for in a player. Troubled background. People think that you're trash. Come over here. Let's resurrect your career. This is going to happen with Amari Cooper. There's no way it's not. He's like destined to have a big time moment because he's so happy. Oh my gosh, bro. Deshaun Watson was throwing him the ball last week. And now he gets to go and to a guy that actually cares. It's got to feel amazing. How have they not started Jameis Winston?
I think that's coming very soon. That's coming very soon. Yeah. I think if Stefanski wants to save his job or if they want to save their season in any way, I think so, yeah. They're 7.5-point underdogs at home against the Bengals this week. We'll get to that one too. That shit checks all the boxes of Ursulita. But I do want to mention one last thing about Amari Cooper. When he got traded, the odds for Josh Allen improved by $2. So he was plus 950. He went to plus 750 to win the NFL MVP after this move. So
very telling.
It is very telling. And it's important too, man. It's important because, sometimes there's a trend in the sports betting space where whenever a big trade goes down and like the public thinks it's a big trade, they'll do a before and after the odds of the team, and sometimes it won't change, and that's very telling.
Yeah,
like they don't think it's going to make much of an impact. This one did, and it helped the odds for Buffalo from plus 800 to now plus 650 to win the Super Bowl. Like we said, from plus 950 to now plus 750 for Josh Allen to win MVP. So that stuff is important, man. We get lost in the sauce sometimes as fans. We're like, oh, bro, no home run play. Look at the odds. That tells you a lot. These casinos and sports books, they don't fucking renovate every 6 months because they don't react the right way, right? So it's important to always monitor that. I like the move for both teams. I think both teams did something fantastic. I also think the Raiders weren't going to trade in division with Adams and him going to the Chiefs. But if you're the Bills, you kind of slighted Kansas City by getting Amari, preventing him from going there.
True.
Because I think they're going to end up with a wide receiver. I don't think they can continue this season because the defense, Kansas City, that is not as good as it was last year. And it's hard to replicate. And also, like, yo, you lost Rice. You have Juju. Worthy's still a rookie. How much could Kelsey handle for this season? You got to get a weapon. There's a couple of guys, bro. And that's my last question to you.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any receivers that are going to get traded? And who and where would you think?
Well, shit, dude. The Saints have got a couple of them because we are in rebuild mode. I'm speaking for all Saints fans here. Nothing good is going to come of this season, but we do have some what people would consider premier talent. But like Rashid Shaheed is no different than Rashee Rice, in my opinion. The only difference is Patrick Mahomes throwing the football. So Rashee Rice being that premier receiver for the Saints and that deep threat, but he's also not like our number one target. Like the Saints aren't going to get rid of Chris Olave, but Rashee Rice, expendable. So I think the Saints are going to be looking to get some picks. Maybe I mean, cause I'm struggling to think of any player to player trade that you can do with a receiver that makes sense. I would imagine most of these trades for receivers are just for picks and return. So Rashee Rice is one. Do you have any other receivers? Like I was thinking about some, maybe like a Tyler Lockett is another dispensable receiver, but he's like a lifer in Seattle. So, and how many more good years does he have left? Who knows? Rashid Shaheed's young. People don't know too much about him. The team's dog shit and they're rebuilding. Do it.
Bro, before he signed with the Titans, I tell D-Hop, yo, go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I have it clipped. I think I'm collabed on it. I'll resurface this because this is like 18 months ago. Kansas City. Pick up the phone, baby. Call Tennessee. Be like, yo, y'all suck.
Yeah.
Will Levis ain't it. You're in a complete rebuild. What are you going to do with a 31, 32-year-old wide receiver who still got it? We talked about Amari going to a new team and him being rejuvenated. He would probably be the second, or I think D-Hop was a better receiver than Tyreek Hill, like career-wise. Because think about who D-Hop had throwing to him all these years, like Brian Hoyer and shit, and fucking Brock Osweiler. And he was productive. Yo, Kansas City, call Tennessee and be like, yo, bro, we'll give you a third. You guys have a lot of holes on your team. We'll give you a third, and if we make the Super Bowl, we'll make it a first. Oh. Do you want him to just sit there? Like Calvin Ridley's already complaining.
Yeah, but Calvin Ridley's fine. Like,
Calvin Ridley's fine.
I think
because he just got there.
I was gonna bring his name up, but like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Ain't nobody wants you at this point.
Yeah, you can even, and if you're Kansas City, you can even say like, yo, look, Levis ain't it, right? D-Hop's 32, kind of having some knee issues already. So, but you know what, man, we beat you guys in an AFC title game before. We remember it when we first won our Super Bowl. You're nowhere near on our level. We'll make it a second round pick for D-Hop as like a courtesy thing. You know, we have a franchise quarterback. You'll be helping us. Kansas City, go get D-Hop. Do it so that I can resurface that clip from fucking 18 months ago and tell you that I was a visionary. You don't like that one?
I love that one.
Yeah.
It's like free D-Hop, but I don't know, bro. That's another career that's just like Tennessee is just eating away somewhat talented receivers' careers. Do you, and I don't know necessarily the inner workings of Tyreek's contract, any way that he goes back to KC?
How many times have we done that fake segment of if you're Miami's ownership, you got to call Tua. Tell him, yo, bro, do you plan on retiring?
I'm going to look up Tyreek's contract because it's like swallow the loss, see what you can get back from KC. It just really seems like KC can do whatever they want. And they will find another piece that makes us go, how is this team not going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and also the quarterback is just down with restructuring his contract. Mm-hmm. He's invested in the soccer team and the Royals, I think. He has all these business. Like, he's doing fine. Mahomes is doing fine. $500 million he signed for. He'll be good.
His contract runs through 2026.
Yeah, why not? As a rental?
Yeah, bro. You just swallow the contract for the last year. Bring him back? Yeah.
I just think we mentioned 2 players to go to Kansas City. I think they're relying too much on a rookie and Travis Kelce, who has had one good game since the playoffs, and injuries to Hollywood Brown. I think he's out for the year, if I remember correctly.
Damn.
And then obviously we know about Rashid Rice.
Yep.
Bro, get this weapon and then watch after 2 weeks if they get D-Hop. Oh shit. Look, remember D-Hop? He's back. Well, yeah, it's different when you have Mahomes throwing the ball and Will Levis.
Big difference.
Big difference. Yeah. So I would like to see D-Hop go to Kansas City, man. I've been saying this for 18 months. You've made your money in your career. Try to go get a ring. They need you also. I think it's great. And you'd play with the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know in the comments. All things Veterans Minimum or at Veterans Minimum. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up. Remember, George, we said on the Apple ratings and Spotify, slander us, make fun of us, but it got to be 5-star.
Yeah.
It got to be 5. If you leave a 5-star rating, say whatever you want. We'll even read it on the air.
You really should do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, even if you hated the place, like, allow other people to eventually hate the place because they have a 5-star rating, and they should have actually looked at your rating anyways. So do that. 5 stars.
Week 7 picks.
It's time.
It's
freaking time, dude.
We'll do the fan question of the day to end the show. Got a really interesting one. It won't take too much time, but we'll get to that at the end. All right. Week 7 picks. George.
Yes.
Do you want to lead us off with a pick?
I mean, let's just go straight into the one that is the most interesting.
The head-to-head?
Yeah, the head-to-head, bro.
Okay.
My Adriana this week, which is my sexiest pick of the week, is the Steelers getting 2.5 points at home versus this fucking drama-filled New York Jets team. This is a primetime game, Sunday night, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Double Renegade will be played. TJ Watt will do what he did this past weekend. TJ Watt this past weekend, 2 forced fumbles that were extremely meaningful for the Steelers to blow out the team. I think TJ Watt has another monumental game. And I'm kind of worried because I'm also going to be a TJ Watt truther here. This is typically the time of the year where TJ Watt goes off for like the first quarter, like 3 sacks, and then gets injured in the second quarter. Like he's so fucking injury prone. And week 7, week 8 is when it's always happened. So I'm worried about that. But if that doesn't happen, Nick, I already told you, the Jets are going to be in 1 possession games all throughout the year. Give me Mike Tomlin with the ability to set New York City on fire. That is why I love this pick. Because I think when you have Mike Tomlin a coach that understands the gravity of how big certain games could be. He understands that by burying the Jets this week, he can literally set ablaze New York City. That's why I love it.
Okay. I disagree.
Clearly.
Because my Adriana is actually the Jets, and I'll tell you why. It actually has nothing to do with the Jets.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you like that they benched Justin Fields?
Is this something? Okay, because I've heard conflicting reports. Is it official? He is benched.
Based on the betting line, yeah. And it's expected. It hasn't been official, but the expectations are that they're going to pull him. And if they do pull him, this might be the pick of the year. I think they're 4-2. Not in spite of Justin Fields. I think because of Justin Fields. Obviously, we know the defense. But like, this dude has picked up a lot of first downs with his legs. Sure, he had that one interception that we clowned him on that got called back for the holding, where it looked like he just like stared at the middle linebacker and was like, yo, bro, you ready? Here it comes. And he threw the pick. It looked really bad. However, I think it's a mistake if they bench him for Russell Wilson. I've talked about this in the past where if Mahomes, if Burrow, if Allen go down for an injury and they miss 4 to 6 weeks, the guy that comes in lights it up. He goes 6-0, 5-1. The moment those guys are healthy, thank you. You did your job. It's their team again. There's no controversy. This one, both guys were new to the situation. Sure, you made a promise to him in the summer that he's going to start when he's healthy, but you didn't know that you were going to be 4-2. And you didn't know that he's been playing fairly well.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of a play against the Steelers and the decision they're making with the quarterback than it is a play in favor of the Jets.
I think that
this is my Adriana.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, Victoria's Secret fashion show was back yesterday.
What channel? Or is it just you saw it on IG?
I saw it on IG. I saw a lot on IG.
X.
Adriana is back.
Really?
Generational talent.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, bro, great girl.
Why don't you screenshot her walking down the catwalk?
This is going to be in the clip. This is going to be in the clip, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but we need it for every week. So whenever you make your Adriana pick, we just put the caption like on her abs. You know, like that's our favorite pick.
Oh, I love her so much.
Right?
Great girl. Great girl.
I love the Steelers this week. I do think they're playing a little cat and mouse, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to believe that they're not starting Fields. Like, part of me thinks that the reason why they start these stories up anyways is because of the thing I was talking about earlier in the year. Justin Fields does not like Russell Wilson. So if you keep him hungry and you keep the kid playing like he's fucking doesn't have the job earned, like how he was handed the job in Chicago and kind of failed at that miserably, no fire behind him. It's tough to get motivated when Tyson Bagent is your fucking backup, right? You got a legitimate, according to Nick, Hall of Fame backup behind you. I think they just start to do this to make the kid hungry. And to kill the New York Jets on primetime television? Oh, Sunday night is must-watch football.
Hold on. You want to hear something else that definitely favors you? The two New York teams, Jets and Giants, are now 4-31 in primetime since 2019.
That's a wild stat.
Bro,
that is insane.
They suck on primetime.
My God.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I've been asking the NFL for fucking years now. Like, bro, stop. I don't care. It's a big market. It's embarrassing, dude. It's fucking awful, bro. Especially my team. Holy shit.
That is true.
So bad. But yeah, 4-31 straight up. The two New York teams since 2019. Yeah. So, real quick, I forgot to mention this. I just want to run through the picks as far as like the updated records for me, at least, George. I hope maybe by next week if you could kind of get yours together.
Yeah.
Or if you have them, that'd be great.
No, I will definitely get mine together.
My fault. I should have told you about that. But the picks are the ones that really count are the ones that I bet big on are Trust Me, In This Economy, and Adriana. That's 11-6-1 on the year. Then we have Ursulita's 1-5. So if you've just been playing the Ursulita pick, you've been winning. And then the toxic one, we say we don't bet, we just stay away from. That's 4-1 on the year. So if you stayed away from it, then it ended up losing, right? So like that's the example that we give. So I just want to run that. Adriana for me is 3-3 on the year, and the Jets are my Adriana. Can I tell you my Trust Me?
Hit me with it.
Buffalo Bills -9.
That's a scary number.
I like it to 10.
Wow.
Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
You know what my handicap is?
Josh Allen's amazing.
When Josh Allen and the Bills play at home against shit teams, they violate them. Violate them like the girl on the redhead on the thumbnail on Brazzers violate. Like, it's bad. They cover by an average of 9.6 points against the spread. So if they're 10-point favorites, they cover on average by 9 more points when he plays the sub 500 non-playoff teams.
Right.
So basically, Josh Allen, when he plays a shit team and they're at home, they destroy them. And that's what I think happens. I like it up to 10. Absolutely love the Bills this week. Josh Allen versus Will Levis. I'm all in. I'm a huge fan of it. The number did scare me a bit with them. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's like, fuck, dude. I bought so much stock on the Titans early in the year, and I'm just eating shit now. And I'm willing to fade them, but to fade them to this level to me is like crazy. Like, I don't think they're that bad of a football team, but based on what you're telling me, I'm gonna roll with you. That's a good one to put as your Trust Me. My Trust Me for this week is a team that, Nick, I haven't really trusted this much this year. Okay.
I really haven't. I was keeping them at a healthy distance because I was afraid of the sophomore slump, but I think I've seen enough now in his sophomore season to make me truly love him again. Give me the Houston Texans as underdogs, 2.5-point underdogs. Against the Green Bay Packers. They are obviously going to Lambeau. That's why they're underdogs. Nick, I need to know, because I just put this in because I'm like, trust me that the slump is over and that CJ Stroud is back and that it doesn't matter that Nico Collins is gone. They have enough talent on the offensive side to win. You were really, really big on the Packers, and you still are.
Yeah.
What should I be afraid of with this play? Like this number, obviously 2.5 means that it would flip 5 if it was at home. So the Texans would be 3-point favorites.
No, so that applies if the Texans were road favorites.
Got it.
So if the Texans in this game were 2.5-point favorites,
then it would be add 5.
Yeah.
Got
then
you.
they would be 8.5-point favorites in Houston. And I would ask you, hey, would you bet them 8.5-point favorites at home against the Packers?
Yeah.
If your answer would be no, then I would advise you not to take them as a road favorite, but they're not road favorites. So I just wanted to make that clear.
For sure.
Do you remember what I said about both of these teams? Go back.
I remember what you said about the Packers.
Right. But go back to like June, July. Didn't I tell you that I wish I was able to lock these two teams to be my Super Bowl like halfway through last season?
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
And the hype on the Texans kind of scared me away. Bro, Houston's 5-1, man. They've been playing. It hasn't been as flashy. CJ Stroud is top 5 in MVP odds. They're a very good team. They're coached well. They don't do dumb shit. CJ Stroud doesn't do anything dumb also, where Jordan Love is more of a gunslinger, which I like. Like, I'd rather you play like that than play with 3 condoms on.
Yep.
I like that kind of style of play. Over the last 5 years, Love owns the 3rd and the 8th lowest completion percentage marks through 6 games for anyone with at least 140 pass attempts. So in back-to-back years, he's just not putting up good numbers from a completion percentage. However, I think the last 2 weeks, even the second half against the Vikings in that blowout, he started playing well. he came off that injury where he got injured in Brazil. We thought his season might have been over. Their defense to me is a story. And for both of these teams, I kind of like the under in this one. As a total. Yeah.
What's the number out right now?
46.5. I kind of like that one as like a, 14-14 game, 14-13 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Kind of rugged and ugly, long drives. That's kind of how I see that game playing out. But I'm not opposed to the Texans. I'm probably going to stay away from it.
Yeah, this is a enjoy what is put out on the field.
Yeah.
Once it comes to this point in time in the season, and tell me this doesn't just happen to everybody, but you just fall so in love with just the offenses that you really neglect like what the more important facet of the game.
Oh, dude, listen.
Offensively,
everyone bets overs because they want offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's always overs. It's the fantasy football thing. Like, you never want to bring, you're in a relationship and, you have a fiance, but like, if I was to bring a girl to a football game, hey, come with me Sunday. I don't want her to see 10-7.
True.
I want to see 41-38 Ravens, Bengals going into overtime. Fucking Burrow throws 5 touchdowns. Lamar's doing crazy shit. It's more entertaining when it's overs, but it's a very public and square bet. Right, we talk about this with the Super Bowl all the time. If you like overs on props, bet them shits the moment they go up. If you like unders, wait until before kickoff. You'll see, like, Travis Kelce, the last 2 Super Bowls, from what his line opened to what it closed, you're looking at like 6.5-yard swings.
Mm-hmm.
And the one, not this one, the one against the Eagles, whatever his yardage was, if you bet it early in the week, it hit the over. But if you bet it right before kickoff, it didn't hit.
Right.
So it's very important, man. And to your point, like, you're talking about defenses. Yeah, it's not flashy. I'm hoping Junior gets drafted, but I guarantee you fans are going to boo that pick if he goes in the first round because no one likes offensive linemen going in the first round. They want receivers. They want running backs.
They want the flash.
They want the outspoken D end.
Yep.
And they want the quarterback. The offensive lineman gets booed, and it's the highest success rate of any position in the draft that gets a second contract, and it's also the most important.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why no one likes unders. No one likes defense.
If I'm going to bet based on left tackles, the best left tackle in this game is on the Texans, Laramie Tunsil. So there we go. Hit me with your next one, Nick.
This one's fucking gross. I mean, has there been a worse Ursulita than the Browns plus 6.5 this week?
Ugh.
In division,
No.
At home. I think this is going to continue to go. You're looking at the betting splits here. 70% of the bets are coming in. 65% of the bets are coming in on the Bengals. A lot of the money is also coming in on Cincinnati. This could be Watson is just absolutely fried and cooked, and he just lost his number 1 receiver, who he wasn't utilizing anyway. But this one is fucking gross. There's no way I would play the Bengals, is what Ursulita is. I'm not playing the Bengals. If it gets to 7, I might be a little interested.
Playing the Bengals?
No, I'm playing the Browns.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm only playing the dog here.
Yeah.
So this would be an example, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Bengals are 6-point favorites right now in Cleveland. If this game was in Cincinnati, they'd be 12-point favorites. Would you bet them as 12-point favorites at home against the Browns?
Fuck no.
So then I would advise people don't take the Bengals.
True.
That's what I mean about adding the points with road favorites. Also, by the way, we're coming off a historic week. It's only happened one time since 1970. Road favorites last week. 9 of them, 9-0 against the spread. 9-0 straight up. It
ruined me.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Pursue with caution. There's a couple of road favorites. I would just be very cautious what I'm doing. You have the Broncos on Thursday as a road favorite. You got the Bengals. You got the Eagles. You have the Jets. You have the Ravens. You have the Chargers. You have a couple road favorites. I would just be very careful, especially after a week where every single road favorite just just capitalized and covered. Ursulita for me is the Browns +6.
Mine has got to be the Commanders this upcoming week versus the motherfucking Panthers, dude. The Panthers are the one team that is either an Ursulita or in the toxic one every week.
Yeah.
They are very familiar with being in this play.
It's -400 that we're going to mention them in one of those two categories.
Yes.
At least one of us.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Fuck that team. Dude, what about, but yo, Andy Dalton, he won outright for us in week 3 when I said like, yo, they're going to beat the Raiders. Because I made him Ursulita again 3 weeks in a row. And we finally got that one. But ever since then, it's been a dumpster fire. So he came through for us that time. But I'm sorry to cut you off. Continue.
Yeah. So the reason why I have the Commanders here as my Ursulita is just because you would like to hope that Jaden Daniels, being the rookie phenom, possible MVP candidate that we think he is capable of covering this spread. However, just because of what Nick said there with Andy Dalton and the random games, and the Panthers can get up for just about anybody. Like, bro, everybody in the NFL gets paid every Sunday to play football hard. Now, can the Panthers put together enough to cover 8.5? I think they will. And that's why I'm saying be cautious with this one. Commanders -8 for my Ursulita.
I like it. Their offense has been absolutely ridiculous. 61.8% of drives ending with an offensive score. The Commanders have the best rate in the NFL. To your point about him being an MVP candidate, and he's already locked up Offensive Player of the Year for the rookies.
Yeah,
if he does stay healthy. Can I give you a? Let me give you a. In this economy.
Yeah.
Anytime a team wins by 150 points, I like to fade them the next week. It happened last year. One of my favorite spots was when Miami scored the 70. The next week they played Buffalo, and Buffalo beat them by multiple scores, and they were like a 3-point favorite. Buffalo was one of my favorite spots of the year in recent memory. Detroit just won by 35, a shitload of points. Now they're playing as 2.5-point underdogs against the Vikings coming off a bye, who are undefeated. They're 5-0 straight up and 5-0 against the spread. Also 5-0 against the spread in the first half. Only the Patriots in 2007 have done that. The 5-5-5 across the board. I really like the Minnesota Vikings. I think I'm going to stop being stubborn. I hope they prove me right. And I'm going to buy into them. I think situation and offense plays a role into a player's success, and that's why I think Sam Darnold is playing well. Like I said, they're coming off a bye. He is, Sam Darnold, that is, one of the worst quarterbacks as a favorite against the spread, but he hasn't been a bad quarterback against the spread with the Minnesota Vikings, going back to situation and circumstance. I just like fading teams and players off monster games. I don't bet much in the NBA regular season. But when Donovan Mitchell dropped 70 2 years ago, that game total was 26.5. The next game, it was 33.5. I took the under, it went under. It's just one of those things where the situation, when a team wins by that much of a margin, I'm going to fade them the next week. And that's why I like Minnesota at home, off a bye, playing a team that won by a shitload of points.
Yeah. What a scary thing for Minnesota to see during the bye week. Because you know they're sitting at home, right? And they're watching that and they see that fucking shellacking. Like, it's got to make you a little bit nervous that upcoming week. Now, this will really, I mean, when's the next time that they play the Lions and Minnesota? I would pray to God it's the last week of the season, because this will be the matchup to see who wins the NFC number 1 seed, in my opinion. So a lot of weight being put into this game. I want the Lions to come out and prove to the world.
They do play
very last
January
week.
5th, week 18 in Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, this will be a matchup in which like if you're previewing the season, knowing what we know now, you would definitely say a season split. Vikings take it at home, and then the Lions will take theirs at home. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that pick for you. But man, if the Lions are fucking contenders, they win this game big.
Yeah. Well, and dude, also you got to remember this: no more Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, check this out. This came from Austin Gale. He said Aiden Hutchinson in the first 5 games had 45 pressures, which was going to put him on pace for 153 pressures over a 17-game season. For people to understand just how ridiculous that is, JJ Watt holds the PFF era record with 119 pressures in a season. This guy was on pace for 153.
Wow.
And the PFF era is from 2006 to 2024. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of PFF, but I fucking love the offensive line stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line, defensive line, I think that's where PFF makes their money, at least for me. I'll never forget that they said James White was the best running back in the NFL the year that Todd Gurley went absolutely bananas. So ever since then, PFF, I like you. I don't love you. I also don't hate you. So I think that's very important too, man.
That's big.
No Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I think this will be a very high scoring affair for that exact reason. Okay. Which one was that one for you? That was in this economy?
Yes.
Dog, I mean, we gave it as a Monday winner. When you said KC as an underdog at home, I did the Macaulay Culkin. Oh, whoa, what? There's no way. So yeah, in this economy, whenever you can put $100 down on Patrick Mahomes, and you could almost assuredly get more than $100 back, that's amazing. You know, most of the time when you bet Patrick Mahomes, you know, you're going to get 60 back on top of your 100, but when you have him as a dog, bro, you just put your money in and you smile. And even if he loses, just know that that's a very stable investment. And you got to be okay with those occasional losses with him. It's not going to happen though. They will be the biggest fucking home wrecker of the weekend if they do lose.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
Because
everybody's got them in their parlays.
Yeah. They're going to be in there
getting
too.
all the bets, but the sharp money coming in on the 49ers.
So here's the thing, right? This was the case last year in the playoffs. Mahomes is a dog. Oh, it's not going to happen this week. The books are going to need him to lose. He wins. The books are going to need him to lose. He wins again. In the Super Bowl, we're going to need Mahomes to cover. And he does. Right? So, like, don't always shy away too much. I will say the NFL is the only one where I'm like, yo, George, everyone's on the Bills. Let's be careful. Right? Pursue with caution, like I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Some trends. Pat Mahomes is 10-3 straight up as an underdog in his career. 11-1-1 against the spread. That is the best straight up mark as a dog in the Super Bowl era for a QB with at least 10 starts as an underdog. Mahomes is 24-10 straight up, 25-8-1 in his career against the spread as a favorite of 3 points or less or an underdog. You don't want to bet Mahomes when he's a touchdown or more favorite. The line is inflated because it's the Chiefs and him. This is a auto bet, system bet, blind spot bet, like all that shit. You have to take this here. We said the same thing a couple weeks ago with Burrow as an underdog and Lamar as a field goal favorite or less underdog. They kind of clashed heads. It's the same thing with Pat. You got to do it. I think you have to play that here. I like it. It was the Monday winner for both of us.
Yeah,
I agree with you. And you said for you, it's in this economy?
Yeah, in this economy, KC money line and smile. That's all you got to do this weekend for that one.
Hey, could we start doing a ladder?
A weekly ladder?
Weekly ladder.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah. I think it's caught on some steam. Some people like this.
Oh man.
A weekly ladder. Now, also, I'll say this, right? We're still gonna do our anytime parlay. Let me knock off this one quick. Toxic one for me. Ravens -2.5. I'm just going to stay away from that game. Kind of do like the over. I'll take the over there. But as far as the side, Tampa at home, they're coming off a 50 spot. What I just say about teams winning with a big margin. They beat the Saints. I would just be careful. I'm staying away from that one. What's your toxic one, real quick?
Toxic one for me is the 1-4 Rams as a 6.5 point favorite versus the Raiders.
Oof.
Is
that game in LA?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's going to be 80% fucking Raider fans.
Stay.
Silent count
far away from that. No, it's not going to get that bad, bro. The Raiders fans are so fucking over the season. Pencil in about 20 fights.
Isaiah's in there just shaking his head like,
Pencil in about 20 fights at this game this upcoming weekend. SoFi Stadium fights are honestly the best because there's lots of space.
Oh my God. Time out. I want to go back to the Kansas City game. Bro, Andy Reid off a bye. We got that little wrinkle in there too.
Nick, when you're listing off these stats, like to me, I'm like, okay, I could tune Nick out. There's not a single stat that is going to be going against KC this week. It will be an anomaly.
Yeah.
If the San Francisco 49ers fucking win this game.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Talk to him.
Literally, Nick, and I'm no disrespect to you, Nick. Soon as you start reading off stats about Patrick Mahomes being good, I tune you out. Because I know it's fire and I know it's fucking positive. Me making money this weekend betting on him. I love it. I'm glad you went back to it.
I just saw that. I was like, holy shit, I forgot that they had a bye last week.
Oh.
Andy Reid 23-9 against the spread in September and October off a bye week. So we do have that trend as well. As if we didn't like it enough.
Right.
We didn't like it enough. I agree with you.
I think I'm in between on that game.
Right. Rams and Raiders. Stay away.
Okay. Stay away. Yeah.
I think the most heavily wagered prop for the entire 2024 NFL season is going to be this week. It's going to be Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown, in some places as high as -290. He's being priced up like McCaffrey last year.
Wow.
You have the revenge narrative. He came out and said, I don't think the Giants fans are going to boo you. They're not. They're not going to boo you. They're going to boo the fuck out of you. That's what's going to happen. Because you want to talk about a fan base that's fed up. From organization to quarterback, we just lost the left tackle, Andrew Thomas, one of two players that you'd want to keep. Maybe Brian Burns too. I throw him in there, and Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy as they call him. You keep those guys. Everyone else a fire sale. When they introduce you, Saquon, they're gonna boo the fuck out of you. And I expect you to score a touchdown. I expect you to score many touchdowns. I tweeted out that Saquon Barkley is gonna be the highest odds for a guy to score a touchdown. And be careful, but he's also going to score 4. So I think Saquon Barkley to do the latter. It's being priced that way too. 18-1 to score 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
I would say this. You know what I would do? Truthfully, him to score 2 touchdowns is +325. Him to score 3 touchdowns is 18-1. I would bet those and take the chance on him scoring multiple than laying -300 on him to score 1.
Facts.
So I'd rather just take that. So for me, my anytime TD parlay is going to be Saquon to score 2 touchdowns at +325.
I like that.
And he's my ladder for week 7.
I think I'm going to go with the ladder king for mine. Because I'm looking at all these games and I'm like, is there a significant mismatch really anywhere on this? And I got to go with Derrick Henry again on Monday Night Football against the Buccaneers. It just shouts they are going to score a lot of points, both sides in that game. But Derrick Henry has yet to do anything this season to make me think that he's not going to score twice in a football game. So for sure, this week, Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns. Watch this be the week that he doesn't do it. And I look like an asshole, but why not? I see the graphic every Monday morning when you wake up. Oh, by the way, Derrick Henry, 2 TDs. Did you forget? It's happened every single week. I like that one. How would you feel about putting Amari Cooper? I mean, do they say he's going to be a go? But I almost feel like Josh Allen's such a nice guy that they might try it's tough with receivers to do the force feed method.
Yeah. I don't know how much he's going to play. I said the same thing about Adams. I think Adams is going to play and they'll force it to him because
that one seems more likely.
It's also the chemistry too. Like they know each other. So the timing, You might be like, yo, remember when Z Rocket 226 what it was in fucking Green Bay? Yeah. All right, we're gonna do that now.
Ooh,
You know?
okay, because the Dolphins came off a bye last week. There's no way Mike McDaniels doesn't find a way to get Tyreek Hill 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Bro, do you want to go crazy this week?
Yeah. I want to go 3 touchdowns on Tyreek Hill?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. But what if we do this? Let's go viral if this hits.
Okay. Come on.
Saquon Barkley 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill 2 touchdowns.
Put it in a parlay.
We'll see you at the window.
That's that. That's that, people. That's going to hit. Because Tyreek Hill coming off a bye, I already know he's healthy. And Mike McDaniels has 2 gadget plays that I just, fingers crossed, they go well. Skylar Thompson, or who is it? Brett Hundley. Don't fuck this up. Yeah.
We can anytime parlay those guys too, and you can get plus 500. Just those guys who just score on their own. You're laying big juice on Saquon and on Derrick Henry.
Oh.
Tyreek is plus 220. There's a guy who was minus 160 to start the year.
Yeah, and
obviously the quarterback going down, but that also
game last year.
Yeah, that also plays a big one there. Yeah, man, this was fun, dude.
It was.
This was fun. We gotta hit one of these anytimers, bro.
It's this
We're
week.
putting up the graphic every week, the Patreon picks. If you bet every anytime touchdown score so far through 6 weeks, you are $1,800 up if you're $100 better. Remember, we've hit a couple of 2 touchdown guys in DJ Moore and Derrick Henry, and the way it balances out with everything. Yeah, man, if you hit one of those, that kind of carries you for about a month.
Facts.
Right? Like Derrick Henry was plus 550, and then you had DJ Moore was plus 1,600, and I had him on a ladder for 100 to 1, and he ended up getting a ball one hopped to him in the red zone by Caleb Williams. So yeah, we're gonna hit one of these ladders. Hopefully it's this week. But I like Saquon, Derrick Henry, and Tyreek to score a touchdown, man. That's definitely gonna be the graphic. And we're gonna get crazy, bro. We'll bet them first TD. Remember what I said? Throw $5 on those guys to score the first touchdown. It's like $5 to win like 3,300. You spend money on worse. That's not. You can't even get a beer on the strip for $5.
Facts.
So let's get it, man. Let's get it. At Nick Day is 10 as you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. Oh, last thing, I forgot this. Most memorable moment you've witnessed live as a fan of a team, not including financial investments, just as a pure fan.
2018 Rose Bowl, Georgia versus Oklahoma. It was a college football playoff game. The day before, Cameron and I had taken some acid, like the night before, and we went into the wee mornings, and before you know it, like we barely had any sleep before we went off to this game. And I'm not proud of this by any means. All right. It was one of the coolest venues because it was all red, right? You had the Oklahoma red, you had the Georgia red. The game was loud, and bro, I was so exhausted that I slept from the 3rd quarter to the 4th quarter. I wake up, one of the greatest Rose Bowl finishes ever. The Rose Bowl has never gone into overtime. It went into overtime. Georgia ends up winning. It was a very, very intense weekend, but that game as a whole, being able to see Baker Mayfield, oh my gosh, we said this quarterback's name when we brought this up last week. Who's a quarterback for Georgia at the time? Jake Fromm. You guys remember how good Jake Fromm was? He was hype for about 2 years.
Dude, I remember seeing a photo of Jake Fromm. He was in front of this sorority house with 50 chicks. And I was like,
stud.
QB1, bro.
QB1. That's great. What about you, man? What sporting event is most memorable to you?
I've been to 10 Super Bowls. So for me, it's definitely that. I would say my favorite Super Bowl I went to that didn't involve the Giants was Steelers Cardinals in Tampa. That was fucking dope. That was my junior year. I had just gotten into football, like really into football. And yeah, that would be probably one of them. And then everything else is like financially invested, man. I mean, Paraguay, Brazil 4-1, where I won $20,000, and seeing that game live.
Oh,
that is like one of the greatest fucking dude. That weekend, I spent so much money that weekend. I posted about it recently because one of the kids that was at the game, he hit me up. He sent me a cool message. I posted it. He was like, "Yo, bro, you're an inspiration for real, man. You make me want to start a podcast." And I was telling you, I met you at that soccer game, and I was telling you that it was gonna hit. He's like, "Yo, bro, I've been following you ever since." He's like, "I hope you remember me, and keep up the good work." And I just wrote Brazil 4-1, best day ever. And I was like, "Thanks, man. I'm happy I didn't embarrass myself because I don't remember anything after the 75th minute." Dude, I was drunk for like 40 hours, bro.
Oh.
We had a bill at Barry's Steakhouse for like $2,200. It was just me and Chris. Wine, porterhouse. Like, I was just like, "Yo, whatever you want." And then the bill came, and I was like, "Yo, you're going to split this?" He's like, "Fuck you, man. We're not splitting it." He's like, "You're paying for everything." Chris is one of those dudes. I think you've met Chris. I call him my agent. He's very like, if he invites you out, he pays for everything. So that weekend, I paid for everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was like money well spent, man. Great story. Shouts to that DM that I got. That was really cool. So yeah, a lot of mine have been influenced by the betting, right? Like,
yeah,
UFC 299 was dope. I went down to Miami with my friends from New York, and we got to see that. That was cool. I love going to fights. I think it's one of my favorites. But for the most part, a lot of mine have been skewed because of betting. But I didn't bet on that Super Bowl. So I would probably say that one.
Yeah, not betting happened a lot earlier in my life, Nick. So I got a shit ton of cool sporting events that I'm not.
Now you're friends with me. It's like, bro, we can't go to something and not bet on it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, my biggest parlay that I ever cashed, I think about $250 on a parlay that finished. It was a multi-sport parlay. It was a football, basketball, hockey, and I got to be at the hockey game and watch it go over to hit for $2,700. That I will never forget. I just remember being out at the the little smoking lounge at T-Mobile and just getting wrecked with some Irish people. It was a fun time.
Listen, bro, I get it. Money won will always be better than money earned.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the money won is less than the money earned.
And most of the time,
it is. At Nick Dais Tennis, you can find me all things Veterans Minimum or at Veterans Minimum. George, the floor is yours. Plug away, pin and pull.
Yeah.
All that shit. All the people.
Pin and pull, man. It's doing really good. Just came out with another episode today previewing the LSU game for this upcoming weekend. That will be starting at 4 p.m. here if you're on the West Coast, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. LSU looks to take down another top 10 opponent. The last time that Arkansas beat two top 10 opponents in the same year, they won the national title.
Whoa.
And that was in 1964.
Whoa. Black and white television.
Black and white television, bro. Hey, motherfuckers hadn't even been to the moon yet, Nick.
Let's go.
Pin and pull. Follow it. Mr. George Carmona. Peace.
In his element, I'm a gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be killed.